in an 11th-hour effort to preserve and expand federal government's intrusive surveillance powers. The House Intelligence Committee introduced a bill last week that has full support of Donald Trump's top law enforcement appointees, described by civil liberties advocates as the largest expansion of local government surveillance since Patriot Act. The bill would increase federal surveillance agencies' access to communications of U.S. citizens, with virtually no federal oversight or restrictions. The federal government's domestic spying powers stem from Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, which was renewed after 9/11 to create mass data collection powers, has been routinely abused and manipulated, and is set to expire at the end of 2020. This year, although bill's sponsors, including Rep. Mike Turner, chairman of House Intelligence Committee, and Rep. Jim Himes, ranking Democrat, describe it as a reform, bill includes a provision that would expand scope of companies obligated to provide information to investigators. A guarantee. Some hawks who hold important intelligence positions in the Trump administration are pushing for this transition. The push comes as President Joe Biden continues to slide in the polls and Trump renews his desire to wield totalitarian powers. "I want to be a dictator for a day," he said recently. Civil rights experts warn that broad powers the Intelligence Committee's bill would create would pose a danger under any presidential administration and should be a particular threat if Trump wins 2024 election. Jim Himes is desperately leaving a Patriot Act-like expansion of warrantless surveillance in the hands of Donald Trump. Sean Vitka, policy director at Demand Progress, told The Intercept, "This is unacceptable and needs to be called out." According to Wired, the Intelligence Committee's bill is quietly supported by the White House and senior intelligence officials. Meanwhile, House Judiciary Committee has introduced a rival bill that would eliminate 702 authority by forcing government officials to get permission before it can be used. Away from influence of spy agencies on Intelligence Committee, a number of other reforms that will prevent warrantless data collection in Congress. Bill is supported by members of the Congressional Progressive Caucus as well as Right-Wing Freedom Caucus. It is also supported by civil liberties advocates such as the Electronic Frontier Foundation and the American Civil Liberties Union. On Tuesday, House will likely vote on the Section 702 legislation through a process known as Queen of Hill. The unusual parliamentary procedure will put two rival bills to a vote with a simple winner-take-all majority to secure passage. Minority Leader Rep. Hakeem Jeffries, DNY, did not respond to The Intercept's request for comment on his stance on dueling reauthorization efforts. This week, Congress will also vote on the National Defense Authorization Act, a must-pass bill to